This past year, I have had the opportunity to teach English and live in Slovakia through the Fulbright program. The Fulbright program is a program by the U.S. State Department, which allows recent students to research and teach abroad. And so I had the opportunity to complete a Fulbright in Slovakia. I was in the northern part of Slovakia in a very mountainous region called Tvrdošin, and I was able to teach English, American history, pulling on my American history background, and kind of explore and learn about a whole new culture. Something that I didn't know about Ohio State before I came here is that the university has a very robust Fulbright and after graduation scholarship program. And so I had learned about the Fulbright through the Honors and Scholar Center here at the university. And they encouraged me and a number of other students, both those in the Honors and Scholars program and those outside of the program, to learn more about all of the opportunities we had after graduation. I think one of the reasons Ohio State students and history majors in particular do such a good job of getting Fulbrights and other after graduation scholarships is because the staff at the Honors and Scholars Center here is really gracious and willing to help students make the best application possible for their scholarship. And in my experience, the history professors in particular are very helpful in helping you think about your writing, think about the story about yourself that you want to communicate, really hone your academic interests in a way that fits the wants of the scholarship and the scholarship committee that you're applying to. And so I think all of those different resources come together and have really allowed Ohio State students and history majors in particular to have really good chances at getting whatever scholarship they're applying for. So I think one thing that really surprised me about my time in Slovakia was that depending on where you were in the country, the people and the culture could really vary. And oftentimes when you think about another country, you think about it maybe in a particular way. You think all the people in that country are a certain way, and sometimes we can even think of our own country or community like that. But one of the things that being in Slovakia reminded me and made me think about was how within a country, so many of the people you meet will be different within a community and also depending on where you are in the country. And so in the part of Slovakia I was in, which was in the northern, more mountainous part of the country, people were a lot more tied to their traditions and their traditional way of life. For example, I remember being surprised to learn that people there would, after they get married, build their own house. So unlike in the United States where you might go buy a house or you pay a company to help you build a house, the people in this northern part of Slovakia will actually, with their families, build a house manually. And so that was something that I found to be very interesting, which was not the same in all parts of Slovakia. It was very kind of unique to the part of Slovakia I was in. As I, for example, went and did my Fulbright this past year, I spent a lot of time thinking about how kind of the culture we're in, the language we're in, the society that governs us, all affects the lives we lead. And obviously experiences like that help you think more deeply about those issues. But studying history also gives you a way to think about those issues in a way that you can't think about any way else, because you're learning about societies and time periods of humanity that don't exist anymore. And so it's really an invaluable way to gain some perspective as you move through life, both in your professional pursuits and in your personal pursuits as a human being.